Good morning, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, morning headlines on January 20, 2023. Ukraine-Russia news, live, CIA director holds secret meeting with Zelensky. The Independent, CIA director holds secret meeting with Zelensky on Russia's next steps. The Washington Post, CIA director Burns assures Ukraine of U.S. support in Kyiv visit. The Indian Express, CIA director visits Kyiv, meets with Ukraine's Zelensky. The Independent, CIA director briefed Zelensky on U.S. expectations for Russia's battlefield planning. George Santos and the fascinating psychology of compulsive liars. The Independent, George Santos's 11 most absurd lies and cons that we know about so far. Vanity Fair, there's only one thing to call Biden's new scandal: political malpractice. The 99% sober movement, should we keep dry January going all year? The Guardian, how much alcohol is too much? Canada says 1 drink a week. The Times, Canadians told to have 2 drinks a week, as crack is decriminalized. The Telegraph, Australia unlikely to follow Canada in slashing alcohol consumption guidelines. The Guardian, how much alcohol is too much alcohol? Canada says 2 drinks a day. Castaway adrift in the Caribbean Sea for 24 days survived by eating ketchup. Sky News, man survived on ketchup while lost at sea for 24 days. The Independent, help, Colombia rescues sailor adrift in Caribbean 24 days. ABC News, man lost at sea survived on ketchup for 24 days. U.S. Supreme Court says it has not determined who leaked Dobbs' draft. The Guardian, U.S. Supreme Court fails to find abortion news leaker. BBC, U.S. Supreme Court yet to find who leaked draft abortion ruling. Ridiculous, Greta Thunberg blasts decision to let UAE oil boss chair climate talks. The Guardian, COP28 a chance for hard questions on fossil fuels, UN climate chief. France 24 English, Greta Thunberg on Abu Dhabi's oil chief leading COP28 climate summit, completely ridiculous. CNBC, former UN climate head, UAE must show political leadership with COP28. The New Statesman, Denmark backs UAE leadership of COP28 climate talks. Scientists discover emperor penguin colony in Antarctica using satellite images. Iran to execute mentally ill man for allegedly burning Quran during protest. Ukraine war, latest, world becoming complacent on Ukraine's nuclear threat, says UN, as Poland is pessimistic about German tank donations. Defensive missile systems erected on Moscow rooftops. The Guardian, unexplained photos and videos showing military equipment on Moscow roofs appear online. Parents of boy, 6, who shot teacher say gun was secured, as 25-year-old released from hospital. Sky News, child who shot teacher has disability, family says. BBC, family says 6-year-old boy who shot Virginia teacher has acute disability. The Independent, outraged parents call out school board after 6-year-old allegedly shoots teacher. CNN, Newport News shooting shows how hard school security can be. Labour calls for Transpennine Express rail contract removal. BBC, call for Transpennine Express to be nationalised after one of the worst days yet. Manchester Evening News, Transpennine Express trains in Manchester, York and Leeds cancelled today as there are no drivers. Yorkshire Live, calls to nationalise Transpennine Express after 123 services cancelled or disrupted in one morning. York Mix, Transpennine Express cancels trains across network due to staff shortages. Should China worry about its shrinking population? BBC, China sees first population decline in 6 decades. Where does the EU stand? Euronews, China's population decline is a result of decades of botched family planning measures and will have global implications. The Conversation, Paul Krugman, why China's population drop is bad news for everyone. The Irish Times, commentary, why China's shrinking, aging population is a big deal. Nepal plane crash, no landing guiding system at new airport where stricken aircraft was heading. Sky News, King says UK stands in solidarity with Nepal over heartbreaking plane crash. The Independent, relatives of Nepal plane crash victims decry slow autopsy. Al Jazeera English, tributes to London ballet student who died in Nepal plane crash. Evening Standard, Nepal crash, airport had no instrument landing system. Alec Baldwin News, live, actor breaks silence as Halyna Hutchins' husband welcomes charges in Rust shooting. The Independent, Alec Baldwin to be charged with involuntary manslaughter after Rust shooting. Channel 4 News, Alec Baldwin to be charged with involuntary manslaughter over Rust shooting. BBC, Alec Baldwin will be charged over fatal shooting on film set of Rust. Jacinda Ardern, New Zealand PM says no regrets over decision to step down. BBC, Jacinda Ardern, New Zealand PM steps down after burnout. Channel 4 News, Jacinda Ardern resigns as New Zealand Prime Minister. BBC News. BBC News, Jacinda Ardern knew when to quit. Unlike some other politicians I could mention. The Guardian view on Jacinda Ardern's departure, knowing when to quit. Ukraine war, Serbia uproar over Wagner mercenaries recruiting for Russia. BBC, pro-Ukrainian activists in Serbia file criminal complaint against Wagner Group. Reuters, criminal complaints filed in Belgrade over Wagner recruiting activities in Serbia. Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, Serbia slams Russia's Wagner Group for Ukraine recruitment. Al Jazeera English, Russia urged to stop war recruitment of Serbians for Kremlin-linked Wagner Group. Ukraine war, allies to meet as Kyiv requests tank donations. BBC, NATO sends support to Ukraine, Russia versus Ukraine war updates, English News Live, News 18 Live. CNN News 18, Ukraine-Russia News, Live, Moscow issues grim warning over long-range weapons. The Independent, a whole new level of war if NATO arms Ukraine, Russia warns. Al Jazeera English, Russia-Ukraine war live, Zelensky expecting strong decisions as Kyiv's allies meet in Germany. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.